Hello, 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 wonderful people. Today is Monday. I know I've gotten kind of late start today, but this is Money Minutes. And in case you don't know me, my name is Shanrika Crawford Benjamin. And Money Minutes is brought to you by saysomething.company.site. And I am the author of Kids Love Money, They Just Don't Understand It. It's an interactive workbook that teaches kids the basics about money. There are also flashcards that reiterate what's in the book, as well as give out some new terms for kids as well as it relates to money. And just want to go back to this. Your future is up to you. This is a poster that I have hanging in my home office. And it's just a reminder, as the year 2020 has shown you all, that your future is up to you, right? Because before we got to this point, 2020 was the future. And then we got here and COVID happened. So, it's just a reminder that your future is up to you. And what you choose to do with it is your choice. But with Money Minutes, it's my hope to share some information with you that will cause you to think about the way in which you spend money on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis, and then pass that information down to those babies, to those you love, so that they can make better choices and have a better future for themselves. So today, I want to talk to you about budgeting, all right? And Wikipedia, there are lots of definitions, but I like this one because it was pretty simple. And it says a financial plan for a defined period, often 1 year. Now, that defined period could be weekly, it could be monthly, or it could be yearly. It could even be daily. But it's a financial plan for a defined period of time. And the elements of a budget, you have your before I go into the elements, let me just say that a budget helps you see where your money is going, right? So a lot of people get paid Friday and then they're broke by Sunday. Okay. It also makes it easier to target problem areas. A lot of times we have more month than we have money. So, or we like, okay, I just got paid. Where did my money go? So it helps you target, the problem areas that you're spending more money, in that, that you could be using to allocate for something else. And it also helps you reach your financial goals, whether that's a car, a house, investing, paying off debt, whatever that may be, right? So the elements of a budget, of course, is your income, which is your money coming in. It could be from your job or your hustle. Fixed expenses. Those are expenses that have the same cost monthly, such as your mortgage, your rent, your insurance premiums. You have your variable expenses, which change from month to month. A lot of times that's your utility bills, unless you're on a plan. They range from month to month. That could be your groceries, that could be car maintenance, things of that nature. Then your discretionary expenses, which, are not necessary expenses. Those are things like eating out, buying Starbucks. I'm guilty of that, but I try not to do it very often. And then you have your goals, and that's anything you want to spend money on. Like I said, it could be house, car, investing, paying off debt, things of that nature. Right. So, but what I want to talk to you briefly about is a couple of budgets, for lack of a better word, that you can use to help you gain a little more control over your money. So the first one I want to talk about is the balanced money formula. And that's where you break your income down into 50, 20, and 30% for different things. All right. So you have 50% of income you put on your needs, And those are things like your mortgage, your rent, utilities, healthcare, maybe even transportation. Then you take your 20% and you put that into savings, which could be, your retirement fund, emergency fund, paying off debt. And then you use 30% for your wants, things like eating out, taking vacations, and shopping online. But that's the breakdown of it. And how it works is, say you have $2,000 monthly income, right? So you take 50% of that, which would be $1,000, and you allocate that for your needs. All right. Then you take 20% of your monthly income, which will be $400. You put that towards savings. And then 30% of your income, which is $600, would be for your wants. Now you can switch that around. It could be 30% for your savings and 20% for your wants. I mean, you can tweak the numbers as you wish, depends on what your goals are, right? But this is basically what the balanced money formula entails. And it's a lot easier than trying to figure out, what your income, fixed expenses, variable expenses, discretionary expenses. It kind of just gives you 3 categories to focus on instead of the many different moving parts. All right. So the next one I wanted to briefly tell you all about is a cash only budgeting plan or cash only budget. All right. And it's an envelope, it's also called envelope budgeting, where you use actual envelopes, and on those envelopes, you put things like, groceries and car payment or mortgage, rent, utilities, but it uses cash and it helps you with overspending. And the way it works is that, same monthly income, $2,000 per se, for an example. Say you have $300 budget for your groceries. You would withdraw that $300. You would put it in an envelope. And when you go shopping, that's all you would have to spend for your groceries. All right. And you would do the same thing if, for your mortgage or your rent, you would take out that $1,200 or whatever that number is, put it in the envelope that's labeled mortgage, rent, or whatever. And that's what you would use for that expense. And the same thing with your utilities. If your utilities are $200 a month and that's what you have set aside, you take that money out and you put it in that envelope, mark utilities, and you would spend, use that money towards those utilities or for those utilities, and when you're out of money, you're out of money. You wouldn't go and try to get any more money out, and I know some people have credit cards and, you only want to use your credit cards for emergencies, in this case, unless you're using credit as a leverage to increase your wealth, it's not really suggested. But hey, those are just some of the budget plans that I wanted to introduce to you all. There are more, and I will be going over, a couple more for the rest of December. I think I'll do 2 every Monday, for the rest of 2020. I know it's Christmas time and people are, going crazy trying to buy gifts for kids, but I say, nothing wrong with that because I've spent out for Christmas. But now that I know better, I do better, and it's not so much as better, you do better. You know better and you do better when you do better, right? So I'm not saying that I'm perfect with my budgets. No, because I still, mess up, but I do have a plan to go by so I won't mess up on a regular basis. Some people don't have a budget and they just spend out, get paid on Friday, on Sunday, they broke. Where did that money go? No idea. So a budget does help with these things. But again, I'm so grateful for you all joining me today on Money Minutes. I hope you found the information to be helpful. I'm not a financial advisor or any licensed finance person, just trying to pass on some information, that hopefully inspires you to think differently about your money and the ways that you spend money, and pass the information down to those you love. Again, Money Minutes has been brought to you by saysomething.company.site. If you know kids, Kwanzaa is coming up. One of the things, with Kwanzaa is to give a book. So kids love money. They just don't understand. It would be a great book for them. You can either get the bundle with the flashcards and the book, or you can just get the book. It's up to you. Or you can just get the flashcards. However, get something that will help them. Get something that, improves their life in the long run, and not just something for them to open up on Christmas and then by next week, they're not even playing with it or paying it any attention. But thank you all again for joining me on Money Minutes. If you found this to be helpful to you, I ask that you share it, like it, add a comment if you like. But I appreciate you all. I thank you for joining me, and you have a wonderful and wealthy week.